shows who is the most powerful mortal in Universe 7. After the great battle that Goku and Vegeta had against Granola and Gas, things got much more complicated from the moment that Gas asked the dragons of the Dragon Balls of his universe to become a much more powerful, the most powerful warrior in the universe. This meant that even Vegeta and Goku, with their incredible powers of Ultra Ego and Ultra Instinct, could not be able to defeat the one who had once fought even Bardock as a child. Things started to get much more intense when Goku and Vegeta were fully expending their energy and at the same time getting stronger to defeat the enemy. Even so, they needed to team up with Granola so that Granola could resolve the situation and launch a final blow on Gas. Even with all those attacks combined, he wasn't able to defeat Gas. It was not enough. Gas still continued to get stronger until the moment Frieza appeared again on that planet, and Frieza showed the power of Black Frieza, showing that he had surpassed both Goku and his instinct and Vegeta with his Ultra Ego. Black Frieza's powers was entirely different, as Frieza had already become the most powerful being in the universe because he wasn't training in Universe 7. He was training in an empty dimension that was not part of that universe. At that moment, we can see the power discrepancy between Frieza and everyone. Frieza ended up eliminating Gas with extremely high ease. However, still, when all that was over, Goku and Vegeta continued their training alongside Whis and questioned Whis. Frieza was the most powerful mortal in the universe, and Whis began to smile, saying that there was no such thing. There was another mortal who was the most powerful. At that moment, everyone began to wonder, who would be this one powerful being? Hey, how's it going? Just here to remind you to click the like button and subscribe here to the channel so you don't miss any videos and stay well inside our entire universe of Dragon Ball. Without further ado, let's get started. For a long time, everyone began to question who could be that mortal who is the most powerful of all. Or would it be the prodigy who could raise his strength more and more and make things start to happen in a different way? Several questions began to be created and thoughts also began to occur in the midst of all this. After all, who could show a power as high as Goku and Vegeta? Except Frieza, of course. Who could raise their abilities, making everyone start to wonder who could get so powerful? For a long time after all this happened, the Earth again experienced great difficulties. It seems that Goku and Vegeta already imagined that a battle would take place. But at the same time, they needed to get stronger for the training they were carrying out directly on the planet of the God of Destruction. At that moment, Goku and Vegeta brought Broly to fight, or at least to look at their training, since Beerus was enraged with everything that was happening. Beerus says, "Hey, how dare you bring that Saiyan here?" Again. "Hey, how dare you bring that Saiyan here? I did not authorize you to do this." Goku starts watching and says, "Yeah, it's because Frieza is back here in this universe. So Frieza might want to take Broly and dominate his hand, you know? Just like he did earlier, causing Broly to start attacking everything and destroying all of his universes. This would happen and cause a major imbalance to start happening." At that moment, Beerus looks up and says, "I couldn't care less what Broly would or wouldn't do. The decisions are totally different. You cannot want to interfere in the decision of a universe, or whether or not you want to think of something as if you are gods of destruction. I would never accept those things you want to do." At that moment, Goku begins to reflect and have a completely different thought. Broly begins to observe Goku and Vegeta's fight and ends up even being surprised by the level of power that the two ended up reaching, and realized that they were actually much stronger than when they fought in the first time. But Broly starts to get excited knowing that he can also get stronger by increasing his powers even more. Broly is an extremely powerful being, as you know. In fact, Goku has already compared him once even with the God of Destruction himself, saying that Broly would even be stronger than Beerus. But even though Goku never saw the real power of Beerus, if only to deduce what the strength over him was, Broly still increased his strength even more and had extremely high potential. But when we talk about potential, there is still another hybrid Saiyan who manages to raise his power, and in his fury, his moment of rage surpassed even Goku and Vegeta's powers. This Saiyan would be nothing less than Son Gohan. Whis had already noticed in his future vision that Gohan would fight against Cell Max, that Ultimate Gohan would reach a form never seen before. It was this form that Gohan began to train for a long time after he no longer wanted to transform into a Super Saiyan. A form in which his hair turned white, his eyes red, and his energy combined the power of Ultra Instinct with the power of Ultra Ego. This transformation was the transformation that even Goku and Vegeta could fight together. A power that transcended anything beyond comprehension. This is the power of Son Gohan, the son of Son Goku. At that moment, Goku still didn't know that Gohan had reached that power and that Vegeta was also able to increase his strength even more with the Saiyans among themselves. They still didn't know the difference in each one's abilities. There was a time when Saiyans only had the same transformation according to the evolution of each one with their body. We could see that each one reached a totally different level. Gohan reached his beast form, Broly reaching his berserker form, Goku reaching his Ultra Instinct power, and Vegeta his Ultra Ego. That way, each Saiyan raised a force in a different way. One of them could be more powerful Saiyan than would surpass Black Frieza himself. But that is a question that only time will tell. So hey, what do you believe and what do you imagine about all of this? Is Gohan the being who surpassed Black Frieza? Broly with his power would be more powerful, or even Goku and Vegeta? Are Goku and Vegeta the ones who ended up surpassing Frieza with new training?
After Beerus' death, Whis and Goku are about to face Dark Goku, Dark Vegeta, and Dark Piccolo. Ready for the battle, Goku and Whis begin to concentrate. We are finally about to witness one of the greatest battles ever fought. Goku is in battle position and he's the first to leave. At that moment, Goku raises his ki and flies to the sky, and then Goku leaves upon the corrupted warriors. At that moment, Gohan takes the lead of the other warriors and goes against Goku. They begin to exchange incredible blows. Gohan uses his speed to attack Goku, throwing several punches and kicks. Goku manages to defend himself despite being a little tired. After a few minutes between Goku and Gohan's battle, Goku becomes enraged and transforms into his Goku form. The battle starts to get tense. Neither one of them backs down, nor one of them leaves a gap. At that time, Goku Omni takes distance and unleashes a sphere of ki. Gohan, upon receiving the impact of that blow, begins to slowly fall from the sky. After Gohan's downfall, Goku says, "That is all your power? I could easily end us all." Goku, who is out of breath and tired, had already fought before and saw his comrade die in front of him, doesn't look back and continues to say, come on, I really want to defeat you, Dark Goku." And then we see Piccolo with his arms crossed and saying, "Get ready. Here will be your tomb and all of your warriors." With a ton of arrogance and irony, Dark Piccolo continues with his arms crossed. And at that time, we see Piccolo raise only a single arm, and with his hand closed and only one finger pointed at the opponent, he fires an extremely different ki. This ki had a reddish color and had small rays in it, and it was like a small sphere. After releasing his ki towards Goku, Piccolo says, "Now die!" At that moment, the strangely abused ki hits Goku like shockwaves. Goku feels his entire body being electrocuted. Goku starts to fall from the sky too quickly. He recovers and uses his teleportation to go in front of Piccolo. And then as he approached, Goku Omni is face to face to Piccolo. It was so unexpected that Piccolo got his fright. His face changes after Goku from close range fired a wave of energy into his chest. Yet another Dark Warrior has just fallen. Piccolo dies, leaving only Dark Vegeta in Dark Goku. We can see that Goku is almost out of strength to continue the battle, and then Goku says, "Now it's just the two of you. Get ready to fight!" Goku barely manages to stand up but still doesn't give up. So Vegeta says, "Why do I have to finish this worm? He's already almost dead. It would be a complete waste of time. But since there's no other way, I'm going." At that moment, when Dark Vegeta was going after Goku, Dark Vegeta with his speed is reaching Goku, but at the same time, something interrupts him. Whis enter in front of him, and with a single blow of his staff knocks Vegeta down and says, "I'm just returning the favor you did me." So at that time, another warrior has just fallen, and Whis says to Goku, "Lord Goku, get some rest now. It's my turn to fight. Thanks for clearing the path for me." Whis, with a smile on his face, continues to say, "Lord Goku, don't you dare to die until I come back to heal you." Goku then responds, "Mr. Whis, what else are you going to do? He's too strong. Whis continues to speak. I know, Lord Goku, but I'm already an angel without a master. So I will do my best to defeat this dark version of you. You're not like Lord Daishikan to be able to save yourself. Then Dark Goku starts to say, You intend to fight me or keep chatting there? Whis then speaks. It's my turn to fight, and I will defeat you and offer Mr. Beerus victory. Goku then descends to the ground and he lies down, tired and panting with multiple bruises. Whis then in battle position readies to fight, starts going to Dark Goku, who is waiting for him as if nothing is happening. Whis starts to spin his staff, creating a wave of wind, and as he approaches Dark Goku, he shoots that gust of wind. Dark Goku starts laughing. At that time, he says, You came here to cool me down? I can't believe you're going to die like this. Angels don't have that much power. They are the most powerful in the universe, and I want to see. Show your strength! Whis is silent for a moment and begins to focus all his energy. Whis begins to emanate a white and silent aura as if he was at peace. In a matter of seconds, Whis disappears. It is no longer there. Whis is now in front of Dark Goku, starting to give several blows. He starts throwing punches with absurd power. Whis' punches were so powerful that they caused pressure in the air. The kicks were also powerful. They could cut through the winds. But in the midst of all this, Dark Goku didn't care about the blows. He managed to block them calmly. Then Dark Goku starts to fight back the blows of Whis that until now is only defending itself. Dark Goku retaliates with some unsuccessful punches because Whis didn't give gaps in his defense. So he keeps attacking until finally he lands a punch in Whis' stomach. The blow was so powerful that Whis instantly spits blood. Then Dark Goku continues to attack Whis, who feels Dark Goku's blows a lot. Whis will just be thrown to the ground that opens a huge crater. And quickly Dark Goku grabs him by the hair and starts giving Whis several kicks. At this time, Whis says, I'm sorry, Mr. Beerus. I couldn't. He's almost lifeless. He feels a tear run down his face. Then Dark Goku throws him to the side and says, Was that all? Is that all you've got, Whis? Your powers don't compare to mine. When Goku sees that Whis was on the ground, he becomes enraged and his body begins to change. Goku transforms into Goku Omni again and goes towards Whis, picking him up. And he says, Mr. Whis, how are you? Oh, you're not good. Whis, who could barely move, says, I couldn't defeat him. Lord Goku. Goku then says, No, don't worry. It ends here. Goku puts Whis down again and goes on top of Dark Goku. And he starts shooting blasts of ki at his sunset that doesn't even bother to move. Goku uses his speed and continues shooting his ki spheres. And he goes towards Dark Goku, and as he approaches, he stretches his arm back and punches Dark Goku's face very hard. And at that time, Dark Goku is thrown away, destroying several mountains behind him. When recovering, Dark Goku sees that Goku is not joking around, so in battle position, he prepares to attack Goku. Upon going up to Goku, he starts throwing punches and grabs Goku by his feet and throws him away, making Goku fall on Whis, who is lying on the ground, almost lifeless. Goku quickly gets up and concentrates his ki and goes to his second Omni transformation. At this time, Goku goes up to Dark Goku and surprises him by launching a ki blast that doesn't even come close to hitting him. So Dark Goku says, What was that? I wasn't even close. I guess it was supposed to hit. I'm afraid you'll have to improve your marksmanship. Then Goku smiling says, Don't be in a hurry. I have time to finish you off. Dark Goku, when enraged, goes on top of Goku with a frightening pressure. Every step Dark Goku took, the floor under his feet cracked a little. When getting extremely close to Goku, he prepares to fire his attack that would end Beerus' life. With a somber tone, he says, Hakai. Quickly, Goku does the same and says, Hakai! With the powers in collision, we see Dark Goku and Goku tries to hit each other. Dark Goku, who had just learned to use this technique, does not have enough control. So he loses control and is hit by Goku's power. Upon getting extremely injured, Dark Goku says, "This is not over!" Then he opens a portal and picks up his fallen companions and disappear.
Goku advanced through the palace of the God of Destruction of Universe 11. Meanwhile, on Planet of Destruction in Universe 7, Beerus began to analyze everything that was happening. At that moment, Vegeta had teleported himself to the Planet of Destruction and was still carrying out training alongside Whis. At that moment, Vegeta says,
"It's been a long time since Kakarot ended up leaving here. Does that mean he managed to get Beerus into a trap? Looks like things are going to get a lot more complicated around here, Mr. Whis. I don't know who is really right, but the God of Destruction decided to attack Kakarot, and Kakarot did nothing for them."
Whis starts talking. "I understand, Mr. Vegeta, but it seems that the gods of destruction begin to have a vision of the oracle fish that a Saiyan could destroy everything in the future. They made an association that would be Mr. Goku, since because of him the Tournament of Power took place. That Tournament of Power caused great catastrophes and had great concern with everything that would happen. Mr. Goku managed to get stronger and stronger. He even managed to defeat Moro. Moro, the one who was a supreme being who had already finished and destroyed everyone. That devourer of words, just like a god of destruction, Moro just swallowed planets, while the gods of destruction eradicated them. Now he wanted to overcome a god of destruction. He managed to raise his strength more and more until the moment he reached extremely scrupulous levels. But that wasn't enough for Son Goku. Son Goku managed to defeat him. Over time, we saw that Granola and Gas had requested to the dragons of their universes for them to become the most powerful beings in the universe. Even so, Lord Vegeta, you, alongside Goku, managed to become more and more powerful. Don't you find that a bit strange?" Vegeta begins to reflect. At that moment, a loud bang starts to appear. On the Planet of Destruction, Vegeta starts to watch and says,
"What is this?"
At that moment, Whis starts to laugh and says, "It seems like he's finally breaking free." A large crater opens on the Planet of Destruction, and at that moment, a large temporal rift opens in the sky. From this temporal rift, a transition of time and space appears, and who appears is Beerus, the Destroyer. And he says,
"Damn it, Son Goku! How dare you trap me in this empty dimension! I will destroy you!"
Beerus had gotten loose. At that moment, Vegeta starts to observe and says,
"Does it mean that Kakarot was able to trap Mr. Beerus the Destroyer in that empty dimension? This really is something unreal. Looks like things are going to be more complicated now. But Mr. Beerus certainly didn't want to kill Kakarot. If he used his Supreme Hakai form, he certainly knew what he could reach. He got his highest level."
Beerus begins to observe and speaks.
"Well, Whis, are you getting another Saiyan here?"
Whis responds, "Mr. Beerus, I don't understand you. After all, you were Mr. Vegeta's real trainer. He learned Ultra Ego from you." At that moment, Beerus starts to reflect and says,
"Why am I doing this? I cannot understand. After I decided to make the decision with the gods, everything seems to go crazy."
Beerus speaks.
"Vegeta, get off this planet! I have nothing against you!"
At that moment, Vegeta starts to laugh and says,
"If Kakarot managed to trap you in another dimension, I will be able to do that too. After all, I am more powerful than that worm. I want to test my powers."
At that moment, Whis starts to laugh and says, "It looks like Beerus, the Destroyer of Universe 7, is being underestimated by more mortals. I think you shouldn't have fallen into that trap, Mr. Beerus." At that moment, Beerus observes and activates his Supreme Hakai form and teleports himself in front of Vegeta with a face of who is going to perform the Hakai. and says,
Vegeta, don't you dare try to face me again. Today I confess to you that I'm not in my best days. I'm already reflecting on the decisions of the gods of destruction. Maybe they're not the most correct. At time that I stepped directly in the empty dimension, could I understand what Goku must have gone through? Perhaps the decision to act before Goku has done something and blame the mortal before he has committed a crime becomes something wrong. That crazy Goku Black decided to cause all the destruction and make all that catastrophe. Being that he was Zamasu, as we learn of Zamasu's decisions for Trunks' future, we were able to finish him off in the present. But now, things are different. Goku is not wrong in the decision. That's why he fought against me without thinking of anything, without caring about anything. But I don't know. We don't know if Goku is turning into something good or bad. If it is something bad, then he is a target for all the gods of destruction. There are gods of destruction with weaker levels. But there are other gods who are stronger, more adulous. To get to them, things will be more intense. But now I can see. I can remember everything Goku did for those planets. All this time that I've been sleeping for 53 days. The Earth and every other universes pass through intense complications. Maybe it's time to return Goku a favor for what he did, without letting anything go unbalanced. I will train you one more time, Vegeta, and we will end this intrigue between the gods. Whoever it is, we are going to defeat the gods of destruction. Until the moment we find Goku in your journey.
Vegeta begins to observe and speaks.
That's the decision of the god of destruction of Universe 7.
Whis begins to observe and says,
It seems like there's a drawback to every god of destruction's decisions. Never imagined Beerus the Destroyer to be back against the gods of destruction for a mortal. Interesting.
Vegeta begins to be excited and says,
That's right. Now I will be able to test all my powers against the god of destruction.
At this moment on Universe 7, Goku walked through the next floor of the Palace of the Gods of Destruction Belmont. At this moment, Goku encounters himself with a known voice that says,
I was waiting for you, Son Goku, since the Tournament of Power.
At that moment, Toppo from Universe 11, the successor of the God of Destruction, was in front of Goku. Goku smiles and says, I could have imagined that you would be here, Toppo. A new battle is about to begin. With the two smiling, they prepare themselves to the fight. Goku had defeated Toppo. Goku's power level was increasing each time, and every time the Saiyan surpassed another stage in Belmont's palace, Goku knew that great challenges would still await for him. Goku begins to reflect.
He's definitely waiting for me up there. There were several beings that faced. Even Toppo couldn't beat me. I keep asking myself, to what level can these guys reach? Is the god of destruction of this planet really that powerful? Before the Tournament of Power started, as far as I know, all the gods of destruction had fought against Mr. Beerus. Even so, Mr. Beerus managed to leave with a certain advantage. After the Tournament of Power was announced, all the gods of destruction began to believe that the great catastrophe had occurred due to Universe 7's fault, mainly by me and my god of destruction, who were to blame for all this happening.
At that moment on the planet of battles for Zenosama, all the gods of destruction challenged Beerus, and Beerus showed his mastery of Ultra Instinct and managed to fight against all the gods of destruction, something that all the gods of destruction had difficulty accomplishing. The god of destruction of Universe 7 proved to be very powerful by being able to perform the same power. Beerus, the Destroyer, for a short period of time managed to defeat all the gods of destruction, until the moment that had the outcome of his battle against the Mouse Kitela, god of destruction of Universe 4. The battle was easily interrupted by Daishinkan, At that moment, we had different information about the gods of destruction, as if several gods had just let Beerus win the fight, as if this was just a strategy to test the powers of the god of destruction of Universe 7. Was Belmont, the god of destruction from Universe 11, one of the gods who apparently just wanted to observe Beerus' fighting style? What was Belmont up to? Belmont's Palace of Destruction, Universe 11. Belmont was next to his servants and receives the news that Topo had been defeated. Belmont says, "So Topo was defeated by Goku! If only Jiren hadn't gone to an empty dimension to train to get stronger, I could let him take care of that! But by the looks of it, I'll have to resolve this all by myself surely!" At that moment, Belmo draws cards from his hands and begins to reflect and says, "Let's see the power my cards have for me today." At that moment, Belmo draws a card from his deck, and when he pulls the card, he sees the image of Beerus, the god of destruction of Universe 7, reflected. Belmo says, "Looks like this will be interesting. Beerus' power manipulation card worked since when he fought in Xenosummer's tournament against the other gods of destruction. Now his powers will be momentarily mine. Until I finish this idiot of this mortal coming from your universe, Beerus, I'll be lending your powers. I remember we were so close to winning the Tournament of Power until the moment when Son Goku activated his Ultra Instinct Mastered and ended up winning the Tournament of Power with all those warriors right there. That was real daring against the gods. I would never be able to forgive someone who does something like that. Well, now I have the power to end them all." Observation. Belmont's powers, besides being very high as a god of destruction, they manage to get bigger in the moment he copies the enemy's movements in one of his cards. Belmont lets himself be defeated by Beerus just so to copy his movements with Kitala, the god of destruction of Universe 4. Belmont laughs. "This will be your end, Son Goku!" Goku continues walking in Belmont's palace and says, "This fight against Topo really got me tired." Margarita says, Well, Son Goku. You did very well in every battle you had up till now. I was really impressed to see all the performance you achieved. Does that mean that your powers increase more and more according to your level of rage? This will be interesting. Managed to defeat Topo and even the wrath of Belmont. It seems that the challenges have come to an end. If I tell you that the next door you will find the room of the god of destruction, would you believe it? Goku gives Margarita a serious look and says, "You're making a fool of me. Surely there's something behind it all. You're fooling me, and you can't do that." Margarita starts to laugh and responds, "Of course I am. You didn't think it would be so easy to fight the great master Belmont, did you? But know that you don't have much to do. If you don't come this way, the only space you'll have to do is retreat. And if you backtrack, you will go back to the beginning of the Belmont's palace." You know, Son Goku, you can only go forward through that door. All you have to do is realize it. Soon after, Goku begins to reflect and says, "She's right. I don't have much to run to. Not a choice. Just like you gods will pay." Goku walks to the next door and is faced with a gray room. Margarita appears and says, "Son Goku, let's see how you do with this challenge. How far are you able to go? If you manage to pass this challenge, be aware that the next door is really where it leads to the God of Destruction room in the God of Destruction Belmont. But if you can't resist this challenge, well, your end will be stuck here because no one will ever be able to show up and save you." At that moment, Goku says,
Be quiet! I'll pass any obstacle. Just watch.
At that moment, Goku hears Beerus' voice.
Well.
No, again.
Well. Looks like you're here to fight me again, Son Goku. I'll turn you to cosmic dust now.
Shortly after, Romoshi's voice, the god of destruction from Universe 9.
Goku, you will now pay me! The fist of the god of destruction of Universe 9 is much more powerful!
Scared, Goku says.
What? It's impossible! Mr. Beerus, you were supposed to be in Universe 7! And this other god, I killed you! Damn it, what's going on here?
Up of the palace of the god of destruction of Universe 11. Belmont starts laughing and speaks.
Looks like my trap to Son Goku to revive the last warriors he fought came true. This will be spectacular. Now I will be able to see who will show their true power. It makes me realize more and more how amazing my skills are. I want to see you get out of that, Son Goku.
The Legend of the Saiyan God, Part 1. After 5 years of the great battle of the Tournament of Power, where Goku and his friends from Universe 7 managed to heroically win the great confrontation against 7 more universes. A survival battle where only one universe would remain in the arena. Peace finally reigns over the worlds. The great Lord Zeno played happily with his own version from the future, between one diversion and another. Mr. Zeno of the future had, as they say, an extraordinary idea. This game is getting boring, Zeno comments from the future, stopping to play a kind of board with planets. Yeah, agrees Zeno of the present. What game should we play now? I know. Let's make a new mortal. Yes, let's go. I want to do a big one, like really fat. I'll make a little one, very tiny. Zeno from the future speaks, raising his hand, and soon a ball of energy appears in the middle of the main county yard, calling the attention of the angels and guards of Zeno's palace. The high priest, Daishikan, enters the precinct and soon realizes what lords are about to accomplish, and just consents with a smile on his face. Let's do this together! Proposed Zeno from the present, also extending his hands and increasing the volume of the energy ball. Let me get started! Zeno from the future speaks, jumping with joy. Okay. Zeno from the present agrees excitedly. I'm going to make him very strong Saiyan. Yeah! And with a lot of power! Zeno from the present speaks with a broad smile, and inside the ball, the silhouette of a man in a fetal position with long pointed hair and a tail that soon denounced him as the purebred Saiyan could be. Power! Power! Says Zeno from the present, waiting for the answer from his future self. I'll give him... what special power must he have? I already know he will have the power to mind control. Wow, so good! Mines! This is so fun! Very fun! Suddenly, the energy ball's glare becomes even stronger until it spreads to every room in the palace. And a part of the energy was in the new mortal Saiyan's body, now lying on the ground, and seems to be sleeping soundly. Daishikan, when approaching creation, soon analyzes that he's not just an ordinary being, but a very powerful being, because even unconscious, the limit of his ki is very high, and can reach the top of a high level of trillions, and can reach more than an ordinary angel. But that doesn't increase your ability to match his power with his own, or even the Overlord. A well thought out form of containment if one day it would face them. Congratulations, Mr. Xenos. A magnificent creature. And from what I understand, we already found a function for it, if you agree with me. He could be the new god of destruction. God of destruction? From destruction! Yes, he's a god of destruction! And what would the name of this god be, gentlemen? Wait, What to name him? Asks Zeno from the future to his version of the present. Zeno 3, like us. That. Wait a minute. Shall we give him our power? Huh? No. So we can't call him Zeno. What are we gonna call him then? I know. Let's call him Corn. Corn. Yes, Corn. So his name will be Corn, the new god of destruction. Comments Daishikan with a wide smile. I will quickly prepare the universe which Lord Corn will command. Soon I will gather all the Hakaishins, Kaioshins, and angels for a meeting here in the palace. So allow me to leave, Lord Zenos. Corn! 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 The two Zeno played around Corn, who was still unconscious. The High Priest Daishikan holds out his hand, and a wave of energy carries him into space to meet the first universe on his visit list. Goku and Vegeta trained fiercely on the planet of Beerus, Universe 7's god of destruction. The two Saiyans each day underwent rigorous tests by their master Whis, who trained them with great rigor and dedication. His pride for his new students was evident, who positioned themselves as the most powerful warriors and who stood out as they emerged victorious from the great tournament of power of Lord Zeno. His pride for his students was evident, who positioned themselves as powerful warriors and who stood out as they emerged victorious from the great tournament of power of Lord Zeno, showing the other universes that Universe 7 existed incredible beings with surprising powers. Whis, on the other hand, watched his god Beerus comfortably sitting in a beach chair enjoying a glass of lemonade without worrying about anything. Since returning from the tournament, Whis has realized that his destroyer has sparked his training and thinks he's too powerful. But the tournament has shown him that things become different every day and new powerful opponents emerge every moment. This became worrying, as it could be that one day Beerus could be replaced by an even more dedicated and powerful god.
I will not go easy on you, Whis. I will attack you with all my might,
says Vegeta, trying to land a sequence of punches without effect on Whis, who dodges everything without much effort.
Don't stop, Vegeta! We'll hit him once and for all,
says Goku, entering the fight, now both attacking at the same time, but still without any effect, and Whis was playing with the situation.
Alright, that's enough,
says Whis before materializing his staff on his hands, and with a key movement, he hits Vegeta and Goku, taking them to the ground with force.
You two are still terrible at working together. Your synchrony still has a lot to improve, so you never managed to move to the next phase, my children.
Curses! Why do I have to go through this? It was better to train alone than with this miserable Kakarot!
Vegeta grumbles, getting up from the ground. Easy there, Vegeta. We're in the same situation. We all want to reach a different level here, so we have to improve our performances if we want to move to another level. The two were still arguing when they suddenly noticed an impressive key approaching the planet.
Who could it be? This key seems to me to be...
says Goku, looking up. Whis already recognized who was approaching and soon fell into reverence. The great High Priest Daishikan appears among them, drawing the attention of even Beerus, who flies low to meet the Supreme Being.
Is this the mighty Daishikan? What the heck are you doing here?
Beerus asks himself, even approaching the four. Greetings, everyone. I bring news from the mighty Zeno Lords to all the gods of destruction and their respective angels. Wow! How cool is the great Daishikan? What was he doing here? Goku, excited, wanting to know what was going on.
I don't know,
says Vegeta, looking at him.
We are here at your orders, Mr. Daishikan. We will answer the call of the great Zeno Lords.
Whis speaks of readiness and reverence. Take your god Beerus to Lord Zeno's palace within the next 5 hours. Daishikan speaks in a serious and blunt tone. This message will be passed not only to you, but to each Hakaishin and his angels all alike.
We understand, Mr. Daishikan. Approximately 5 hours from now, Whis and I will arrive at Zeno's palace,
says Beerus, trying to swallow any trace of pride. Excuse me, Mr. Daishikan, but can I ask you a question? Goku speaks with his awkward way. But could you tell me the reason for Zen-chan to be calling us?
Don't be ridiculous, you fool! If you wanted to say why, you would have told us already!
Comments Vegeta, scolding Goku.
Unfortunately, Mr. Goku, this is a matter of interest only to the deities, and I will only be portraying during the meeting.
Ah, what a shame. But can we go with Mr. Beerus and Mr. Whis?
What? I think it would not be appropriate for you mortals to be in gathering of high beings.
Comments Beerus with a disapproving look at Goku. Why not? Mr. Goku is a friend of Mr. Zeno. You and Mr. Vegeta can accompany Mr. Beerus and Whis. And, by the way, you have a little connection of what's about to happen.
What? Do we?
Asks Goku, surprised, noticing the thoughtful expression of Vegeta, who listened to the conversation in silence. I will meet you all in 5 hours. Later, Daishikan says goodbyes and disappears the same way he arrived. Quickly, Beerus looks worried and doesn't say a word until the silence is cut by a question from Vegeta.
So, what does Mr. Daishikan intend to tell us at this meeting? And what are the Xenolords preparing? Could it be another tournament of power?
Vegeta asks firmly.
I think not, Vegeta, but this possibility is not ruled out.
Comments Beerus, looking at the Saiyans.
Another tournament of power? Wow, that would be amazing. We have to train Vegeta even more. Let's go.
The news excites and cheers up Goku.
Shut up, Goku! This is much more important than a simple tournament. It's been a long time since Zeno has met with all the Hakaishins and the Kaioshins. Let's get ready and leave in 5 hours.
Beerus speaks in a serious tone. Daishikan shared the same message to the other 11 remaining universes, and his last visit was the Universe 6 to meet Champa and Vados, who received the High Priest with joy and surprise. But one detail in particular had occurred without Champa's awareness. Vados received a telepathically differentiated message from her master Daishikan that left her with a thoughtful countenance, and a kind of anxiety overtook her. But she did her best to hide it so Champa wouldn't notice her.
Vados, woman! Let's hurry up and get organized in this Mr. Zeno-sama's meetings! Vados!
Oh, yeah. Let's go, Mr. Champa.
What was it, woman? I'm the one who should be nervous right now and not you! You already forgot the last time I was erased and not you! If it weren't for that warrior's request from Universe 7 to restore all erased universes, I wouldn't be here right now!
But it's all your fault for being such a sloppy god and not getting a good team for your lower middle universe. Vados says, calling attention.
Ah, so you're gonna throw it out on my face now?
Says Champa, more and more irritated.
I don't know why I'm arguing with you right now. I'm going to pack my lunchbox for the trip. I want to at least receive the news with a full stomach.
When Champa walks away, Vados looks at the sky, and her thoughts again hammers in her head. And Daishikan's words repeat itself more and more clearly in her mind. 5 hours later, Whis arrives at Zeno's palace, and accompanied by Beerus and his students Goku and Vegeta. Gradually, all the gods of destruction and creation were arriving with their respective angels. And one thing they all had in common is that no one knew the real reason for that unexpected meeting.
Everyone is here really, as Mr. Beerus said. That thing must be really serious.
Comments Goku, noticing the presence of all the Hakaishins.
I hope you behave, Kakarot. Because if you do something stupid with anyone here, you run the risk of being erased once and for all.
Says Vegeta in a serious tone.
And for once, I don't want to piss off any god of destruction in this room.
The four walked through the wide hall of the palace until they approached Champa and Vados.
Well, if it's not my brother Loser and his henchmen, what did you come here for? Think it's your birthday?
Champa says, laughing nervously.
Loser, I think who was erased last time was not me in all of my universe.
Says Beerus with a crooked smile on his face.
What do you think this all is? So far, everyone I've asked, none of them know for sure what this meeting is. And for me, it's not a good thing.
Let's wait for Mr. Daishikan to start the meeting. This way we will remove all our doubts. Suddenly, the golden door of the Great Hall opens, and the Great Priest Daishikan approaches. Seated on their respected thrones, the Xenolords being escorted by their guards. Everyone present kneels before the mighty Lord Zeno's throne in reverence, even Vegeta and Goku. We appreciate the presence of all the Hakaishins and Kaioshins for this meeting that will start at this moment.
Daishikan speaks with a wide smile. Soon I will bring you incredible news coming from our Zeno masters. But you can ask your questions and I will answer them. The gods looked at each other for who would have the courage to start asking. After a short moment of murmuring between the gods before the meeting began, Ewan, the god of destruction of Universe 1, stepped forward and asked his questions politely. With your permission, Mr. Daishikan, but I believe the only doubt that we all have at the moment is the real reason for this meeting and why are mortals present in a meeting that is dedicated only to the gods. Comments Ewan, pointing to Goku and Vegeta, who at this moment took the center of attention from the eyes of all the Hakaishins and Kaioshins. I won't prolong too much, and I'll say right now the reason for this meeting for all of you and why Son Goku and Vegeta are present. Comments Daishikan with a wide smile. This meeting is to name the new god of destruction chosen by me and Xenolords, and with that, one of you will be replaced. At the time, everyone in the place wasn't shocked, including Beerus himself, to know that he could be replaced by anyone chosen by Daishikan and Xenolords. It could even be Goku or Vegeta, and that explained why they were at this meeting.
A new god of destruction will then be appointed, and which one of us will be replaced? Even if I lose my position, should Goku or Vegeta be one of them chosen?
Thought Beerus, looking at his brother Champa, who didn't hide his panic, but he turned his attention when Daishikan continued his speech. This new god of destruction is no candidate present here. He's a new being created by the very hands of the Xenolords, or to better say, he inherited a little of the essence of the Supreme Being. And his name is Korn. He is a Saiyan, capable of reaching high levels of power, passing from some Hakaishins here present and some mid-level angels. That's why the presence of Son Goku and Vegeta for being key players in the creation of Korn. Their Saiyan powers and their dedication to the power tournament inspired the Xenolords to create Korn. Korn! Joyfully exclaims Zeno from the present. Korn! So does the future Zeno, applauding. He's too much, right? Yeah, super right!
A Saiyan god of destruction! That's unbelievable!
Comments Vegeta, surprised by the revelation and shocked by now knowing that there's a being of his race that surpassed all the limits and surpassed even Goku. Wow! A Saiyan god of destruction, and apparently he's very strong because he has a little of Zeno's own essence. Comments Goku euphoric. I would definitely train a lot to fight him one day. Hey, Mr. Beerus, finally found a Super Saiyan god he was looking for so much. Beerus turns to Goku in annoyance, but just takes a deep breath because he knows that he's speaking the truth, and that his dream from a long time ago wasn't just a fantasy, it was coming true. The long-awaited Super Saiyan God appeared, and apparently impossible to be defeated by his hands. Moving on, said Daishikan, asking for everyone's attention as he spoke again. We will be replacing this god because he has not been able to fulfill the responsibility of the function in several years, and is no longer able to serve the cosmos. I warned the gods Ewan of Universe 1, Arik of Universe 5, Yin of Universe 12, and Liquor of Universe 8. You can rest assured in your opinion. All four have their universes above average and fulfill their role as destroyers correctly. The others await my verdict.
I don't believe it! That's it then! A new god of destruction created by Zeno-sama! Damn it! I'm screwed!
Said Champa in a nervous tone. Vados notices the desperation of Champa and the other gods of destruction. Then she thinks to herself the Daishikan's words. If it really is what he wanted, she will be about to assume the responsibility of a more powerful being that existed among the destroyers. Both the Hakaishins and Kaioshins were trying to control their anxiety and to know which universe the new god Korn will rule, and were also apprehensive that any of the 8 remaining gods would be replaced and awaited the revelation of the great high priest Daishikan. The tension grows each time the priest takes the time to break the news. The 8 below average gods of destruction couldn't hide their worry and fear. After all, one of them will be replaced for not fulfilling their role as Hakaishin properly. Precisely the 8 Hakaishin who participated in the Tournament of Power. Well done, ladies and gentlemen. I come to inform you before the verdict that Mr. Korn will soon be awakened, and is already well located in the universe where he will command. I just hope he's not an idiot and actually does his job, comments Margarita, the angel of Universe 11, whispering to Vados' ear so that her master Belmod would not hear her. Vados quickly turns to her and responds in the same low tone so Champa doesn't hear. I would love to serve the new god created by the excellence of the power of Lord Zeno and who will certainly be a great and powerful god of destruction. Champa was apparently more angry than scared and takes one look at Beerus and thinks to himself, "That's great. Now my brother will screw me over forever if I'm the chosen one. You rub it into my face that I'm a loser, that besides losing in a tournament of power, I'm still at risk of losing my position to another god more powerful than me. That is unacceptable. I want everyone's attention right now. Now I will reveal who will be the god of destruction that will be replaced." Finally, Daishikan gets everyone's attention and will announce who will be replaced by Korn. At that moment, all 8 gods of destruction who are the danger of being replaced began to panic and get scared. The atmosphere is silent and extremely tense. Mr. Champa of Universe 6 and Mr. Beerus of Universe 7, step forward, please. The two brothers looked at each other and together they began to take heavy steps towards the High Priest. Goku and Vegeta weren't understanding either. For if a god of destruction would be replaced, why Daishikan also called Lord Beerus? Hey, I don't understand, Whis. Why did Mr. Daishikan call Mr. Beerus too? Asks Goku, approaching Whis. Actually, that's a question that I don't even know how to tell you. Let's just watch what happens. Champa then, thinking that the worst had already happened, questioned himself in his thoughts as he walked towards Daishikan. I knew I should have listened to Vados. If I had really gone into shape and destroyed the planets, I wouldn't be in this situation. All that food is now worthless. Champa showed on his face that he was deeply sorry for being a fool exercising his role as Hakayashin. But he also wasn't sure if Beerus was called because he also failed to fulfill his role as a god of destruction. But that moment was not one of rivalry, but of accepting the fate that awaited them. Mr. Champa, you seem a little removed from your responsibilities and obligations as a god of destruction of Universe 6, says Daishikan, looking steadily at Champa. This decision was made by me and the great Lord Zenos. You will be removed because of your incapable stature and your questionable choices while in your role as a destroyer, where you prioritize competitions and spent much of your time collecting desire orbs and traveling to other universes without the permission of the great Zeno. So you weren't keeping the balance in your universe. And these last few years have been stranger than usual, as apparently you haven't been destroying or fulfilling the responsibilities your role demands. In other words, with this we know that the god of destruction that will be replaced will be Mr. Champa. After listening to Daishikan, Champa accepted his flaws as a god of destruction and reverently spoke a few words. I am aware of my mistakes, Mr. Daishikan. I understand the situation and I should have realized that at one time or another this would happen. But what will happen to me? Will I be erased again for no longer being a god of destruction? Please tell me. I don't want to be erased. You will not be destroyed, but will be converted back to a mortal and will start to age from this moment on. You are no longer a god of destruction. So tell me, which planet in Universe 6 would you like to spend the rest of your life on? Champa then, with a small smile on his face, said his last wish. I want to spend my last moments on the Earth of Universe 6, because that planet I consider a gift for me. Daishikan extends his hands and says in a squeaky voice, So Champa, former god of destruction from Universe 6 will now become immortal on Earth. Champa disappears as soon as Daishikan finishes his sentence. And at the same time that this happens, Bua, the Kaioshin of Universe 6, is deeply saddened because he himself had predicted that this would happen because of Champa's difficult behavior. I tried to convince him in several ways to improve his Akaishin behavior, but Champa always threatened me in some way. Bua says in their saddest words. The Kaioshin of Universe 6 disappears, and went to the other world where he would spend the rest of his days in the world of dead Kaioshins. Beerus, who never harbored any feelings for his brother, is now in a serious and thoughtful position as there is a possibility that he may never see his brother Champa again. And another thing that had been worrying him, and that now it was his turn to face his judgment. All the gods were completely silent, despite not accepting Champa's wrongful actions, but respect for fellow Hakaishin still hovered. "Now it is your turn, Mr. Beerus," said Daishikan, looking firmly at the god of destruction of Universe 7. "Unlike your brother Champa, you fulfill your duties as a destroyer very well, and we have nothing against your actions. But on the other hand, the new god, Mr. Korn, as I mentioned earlier, that he was created with the essence of the Xenolords, and for you to be aware of this fact, only Xenolord and myself will be able to defeat him if he manages to reach his maximum power."
What?
Beerus amazed, accompanied by all the other gods. It was impossible to believe that at this moment a being with such power would appear. "Did you hear that, Vegeta? The new god, Lord Korn, is very powerful. Much more powerful than Mr. Beerus and Whis," comments Goku, already wanted to meet the new Saiyan god.
Yes, and I can't believe it.
Comments Vegeta, very shaken.
How could Mr. Sinnoh create such a monster?
Well then, what I wanted to report to you, Mr. Beerus, is that Korn has a very high power above his, and with that only Universe 6 will be little for his domains. So from now on, he will also be the new god of Universe 7, the new shocked people everywhere. Never has a Hakaishin been given the responsibility of taking care of two universes at the same time, so everyone recognizes that Korn is a special being, and everyone already wants to meet him. Beerus couldn't believe what he was hearing, and without any reaction, he just listened attentively to Daishikan's every word. The previous options made us believe that it would be better to delete it, but as you do a great job and that your universe was the great winner of the Tournament of Power, the Xenolords did not authorize deleting it. The previous options made us believe that it would be better to just erase it. But as you do a great job and that your universe was the great winner of the Tournament of Power, the Xenolords did not authorize erasing it. But from now on, you will be the servant of Korn and will assist you with your assignments in Universe 6 and 7. What do you say?
Yes, Mr. Daishikan. I will help him and be a servant of the new god Korn. I will be ready for whatever he needs,
says Beerus, dry, swallowing his pride. I know that these changes are quite sad, but now let's move on to the new future for Universe 6 and Universe 7 as well. For now, Korn, the new god, will maintain the balance between these universes, concluded Daishikan satisfied. And that also means that a new Kaioshin needs to be chosen from the Kaiju tree so that life is kept in balance again in the 6th and 7th universe. At this moment, the Xenolords, excited by Korn's nomination, hum and announce that Korn will be a very powerful Kaioshin, as he's quite strong.
Korn will be very strong, right?
Says Zeno from the present.
He will be the best, right?
Confirms Zeno from the very future. I don't know what to expect from this new Hakaishin, Mr. Shin, but I'm excited to see what happens next. Commented Tsukibito, who was former assistant for the Kaioshin of Universe 7. Still a little sad that his friend had been erased, but curious and excited to meet this new god so powerful. I am prepared to serve the new Kaioshin that was born from the fruit of the Kaiju tree and the new destroyer of Universe 6. Very excited. Not only you, but the fact that he will also be the new god of destruction of Universe 7 will also serve him as well as Beerus. Comments Shin, the Kaioshin of Universe 7, in a serious expression. And while all this was happening, Vadus cannot hide her excitement and that she would soon meet her newest Hakaishin. And suddenly Daishikan calls her and asks to come closer. Vadus? Now go immediately to meet your newest destroyer. Korn, he will be awakened soon, says Daishikan before ending the meeting. Beforehand, I want you to remember what I informed you on the planet of Champa. Mr. Korn is a newly created being, and the little he knows is what Mr. Zeno implanted in his mind. That is, from now on, you will teach him everything he needs to know about his functions and his training.
Of course, Mr. Daishikan. I'm honored by the new opportunity you've given me. I will make Mr. Korn the best Hakaishin ever.
Vado speaks excitedly. Another thing I wanted to mention to all the gods here. 3,000 targs from now on, we will gather on the planet of destruction of Universe 6 to begin the ritual of initiation of Korn as the new god of destruction. As of now, they're all dismissed.
Yes, Mr. Daishikan. I withdraw from his presence and I will go to meet Mr. Korn right now.
Says Vados before swinging her staff and a tunnel of light pulling her to another dimension, returning to Universe 6. 3,000 targs? What does that mean, Mr. Whis? Asks curious Goku.
3,000 targs means, well, I'll explain given as an example of your time on Earth. Korn's initiation will take place in 24 hours according to the Earth Blade.
Oh, yeah, now I understand. So tomorrow at the same time, Korn will officially be the new god of destruction of Universe 6 and 7.
Exactly. I'm just a little worried about Mr. Beerus. He seems to be so sad about what happened.
Yeah, it really must be a bar for him to have his brother replaced and still lose part of his reign as god of destruction of Universe 7. Right? Comments Goku looking at Beerus, who remained silent, leaning against a column. Oh, I know. Let's go ashore and ask Bulma to organize a party and banquet for us. It's been a while since we've met with others. And perhaps Mr. Beerus will line it up a bit.
It's a splendid idea, Mr. Goku. Let's go to Earth and eat those wonderful delicacies that only Bulma can provide for us. I think Mr. Beerus may improve his countenance.
But the question now is, what will this new god Korn be like? And how will he behave in the face of the challenges of our universe?
Asks Vegeta thoughtfully.
Don't you worry. I know that Don't you worry. I know that my sister Vados will take good care of Mr. Korn. And just so you know, she is more ruthless about training than I am. A true executioner.
Comments Whis, laughing.
Well, let's go because I can't wait to taste the new delights of your planet.
Somewhere on the planet reserved for the Hakaishin of Universe 6, Korn floats, still unconscious, across the planet's sky. Just with small flashes in your mind at the time of its creation.
Congratulations, Xeno gentlemen. A magnificent creature.
And from what I understand, we already found a function for him. If you agree with me, he can also be the new god of destruction.
God of Destruction? From Destruction, yeah, he's the God of Destruction!
And what would be the name of this god, gentlemen?
Wait, I know! Let's call him Korn! 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 Korn!
Korn awakens from his deep sleep and looks down at his feet to find himself floating high above the clouds. Where am I? I'm flying? How can I do this? He asks himself in awe, floating throughout the dimension in what looked like a beautiful planet. Suddenly, he feels a strong gust of wind, and when he looks back, a figure of mysterious and beautiful woman with blue collar and long hair, wearing a beautiful green mantle and bringing with a kind staff on her hand. Who are you?
My name is Vados. I am an angel who will assist you from now on.
Vados, do you know why I'm here?
It certainly is, as Mr. Daishikan told me. You're just remembering the moment you woke up a few minutes ago. But even with the little knowledge, I feel great power coming from your ki.
Daishikan, I think I know him. I heard him call his name in my dream. He's a short guy with blue clothes and blue skin, like yours. He appeared in my dreams with two other little ones who were trying to choose a name for me. Korn. My name is Korn. That's what they called me all the time. Korn recalls from the scenes of the moment he was created. Who are they exactly?
Yeah, your name is Korn. And the little ones that you mention in your dream are the great Lord Xenos, the king of everything. the Lord of the 12 universes, and the other person is the High Priest Daishikan, my father. He's one of the 5 most powerful in all universes. But tell me, do you remember anything else besides seeing Mr. Zenos and Mr. Daishikan? Didn't they mention anything else you have to do?
I don't remember, but what do you want to tell me exactly?
Hold my hand.
Korn takes Vados' hand without fear. He was willing to really know who he is.
It might make you a little nauseous.
Together in the low air, Vados takes Korn to the other side of the planet Zerkuda, where the palace belonging to Champa awaited his new god. Where are we?
You're home. This is the planet of the ancient god of destruction of Universe 6,
says Vados, showing the place in all the rooms.
Now, this is your castle. It's pretty cool here. I quickly pre-renovated it so it didn't look like to the previous owner. If you prefer, I can change everything according to your will, Mr. Korn.
Korn didn't know what to say. He just listened carefully to Vados' every word and tried to remember any details that might be important. You called me Mister. Don't tell me I'm some kind of king or something. Is that why you asked me if I was told what I should do?
Well, yes. But not specifically just the king. You have been chosen to be the new god of destruction.
God? God of destruction? How is that a god?
You will understand better with the passage of the time. But already in advance, your job is to destroy unnecessary planets and other functions of your post. You will command this universe, Universe 6, as well as Universe 7 with the help of Beerus, who was tasked with being your helper and servant.
Who is Beerus?
He is another Hakaishin, like you. But he was demoted from his functions in this universe by the direct orders of the Lord Zenos and Lord Daishikan. He now belongs to you as the supreme god of these 2 universes,
explains Vados, taking him to the main hall where the throne that belonged to Champa was. Now, onto the new Hakaishin Korn.
This palace belonged to Champa, the brother of Beerus, who was punished for keeping the universe at a low mortal rank. He refused to listen to my instructions and was eventually replaced. But I assume with you it will be different, and you will listen to me, right?
Yes. Yeah, I will.
Very good. Now, I will explain everything to you and teach you everything you need to know until your ritual of officialization as a god of destruction will begin tomorrow.
I need something. I really need this. I want to know who I am. And how can I become a god of destruction? Comments Korn in a serious tone that excited Vados, an interest she has never seen in one of her students. After Daishikan dismissed all the gods to their respective universes, Whis takes Beerus to his planet in Universe 7, and then takes Goku and Vegeta to Earth to organize a small celebration at Bulma's house, leaving God alone in his thoughts. Beerus flies to a top of a log cut in front of a lake, where the waters passed under his palace. Universe 7's Hakaishin begins to reflect on everything that happened hours before, and how much everything was going to change from now on.
This is an absurd. At the beginning of this day, before I was a god of destruction of this universe, and now I'm just a servant of a Saiyan, a god, who was created in a single moment. Goku was right. I finally found the Saiyan god I was looking for since I had the dream a long time ago. It was in this quest for this supreme being that I met Goku and the others on planet Earth. Korn? That Korn? Is he really as powerful as expected? Luckily I wasn't erased or exiled like my brother Champa. That idiot. Will I see him again? Will the new Hakaishin allow me to visit him on the Earth of his Universe 6? Well, enough of that. Now I'm going to take a nap and try to momentarily forget everything that happened.
Beerus, in his distraction, will not notice Whis approaching and calling his attention.
Are you really thinking about sleeping at this time, Mr. Beerus?
Dang it, Whis! You scared me to death! I almost threw a Hakai on you!
Beerus says in surprise and with an angry tone.
I need to rest a little after this stress I've been through.
Oh, but are you forgetting the celebration that will take place at Bulma's house? If you sleep now, you'll miss out all the delicious food that will be offered in this fest.
At the same time, Beerus was down and worried, and like magic, he changed his mind instantly.
I'll leave the nap for another time, Whis. Let's go to Earth then. I can't wait to try new dishes.
That's the spirit, Mr. Beerus.
Whis says with a wide smile. Beerus places his hand on Whis' shoulder, and the two are propelled through a ton of energy towards the Earth at full speed. Hours later on Earth, everyone is gathered at Bulma's house. All the Z Warriors as well as the Kaioshin of Universe 7 and the Odo Kaishin were present in this warm celebration. Goku was already at the table eating everything that was served to him, looking like he hadn't eaten in several days. I can see you don't waste time, Goku, says Curling laughing, pulling laughter from the other guests. I can imagine how much I miss this food. Those days of training on Beerus' planet were really hard. I have to enjoy it before going back, you know? Replies Goku, not letting go of his plate. I see. That scary moment we faced in the Tournament of Power and those strong guys like Jiren and Toppo made everyone here intensify their training, including me, comments Curling laughing.
But I believe that this little party is not just to kill the logging. Is it really, Goku?
Piccolo says with a worried expression.
What really happened for you to come back so soon?
You're right, Piccolo. I'll tell you. Goku speaks in front of everyone who stopped their activities to hear what he had to say. Okay. Today, when we were training with Mr. Whis, the High Priest Daishikan appeared bringing news to Mr. Beerus and Whis. He came to call them to a meeting in the palace of the Lord Zeno. To be continued. So hey, my partner, what do you believe and what do you imagine about all of this? Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe here to the channel so you don't miss any videos. And that's it for today. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.